Hi folks, I'm Dave Herbert and welcome to Mr. Herbert's Science Class. Today we're going to talk about model airplane magazines. Let's take a look. Let's take a real quick glimpse at some of these older magazines and what was around back in the 70s, and then we'll take a look at some of the newer magazines, and I'll show you one of my latest, which is a favorite. I'm no stranger to writing the articles for the magazines either, and my first magazine article was actually written in December 1979 in Model Aviation magazine, and this was an article on how to add dual rates to your transmitters. And I was modifying these craft transmitters, and I sent this article into Model Aviation. And actually wound up getting a job offer from Phil Kraft himself, and that's what really started it all. I headed down to Kraft Radio Control System. I wrote quite a few articles for Model Aviation, and one here in September 1993 was on my 12-volt rack. And this was a charging station that I designed and built, and it was easy to charge your batteries because we were trying to get into electrics at that point. Another magazine that I wrote a lot for was Model Airplane News. This is June 1942. I did not write any articles in here. Here is February 1990. Here I did a helicopter flight orientation, how to stay oriented. And this one, August 1991, I did a product review on the Kyosho Concept 30 SX. July 1989, here I did the German Cavan Shark review. My most interesting and controversial article was written on night flying. This was the first article I ever published, and really surprised everybody that we could fly model airplanes in the dark. And we certainly did. We had an absolute ball, and the pictures were of time lapse in the magazine were absolutely incredible. I also wrote a few articles for RC Modeler magazine, RCM as we call it. Here's another one on radio controlled night flying, believe it or not. And here's some of the pictures that they included in here. And we just certainly had a ball at night flying, and we still do. Many of my pictures and designs and experiments were published in Radio Helicopter magazine, and that's how the electric tail rotor came about. Of course, Alexander van Rosting in Belgium is the one who actually developed a circuit board that would make that work more reliably than the two heavy-duty speed controllers that I was using. But nevertheless, that has become a standard on a lot of these low electric helicopters, along with the videotapes I sent to Ishimasha in Japan. Radio Helicopter was quite a really nice magazine. In fact, here's one from, I can't even see the date on this, but this is how I invented a battery backup for electric helicopters. Here I'm showing a Ishimasha. This was formerly the very beginning. This was the first electric helicopter ever imported into the United States by Condor Hobbies in Costa Mesa, Cliff Rosin. So when it ran out of power, it would kick the second battery back in and let you get in and land. And I designed a circuit board to do that. A couple of articles I wrote for Rotary Modeler. Mike Moss, the first person to ever land a helicopter upside down. And there he is on the inside of the cover. And in fact, there was one of my Hyperflies from Kyosho on the front, the Apache. Also wrote for Model Builder magazine. Unfortunately, they are no longer in business. And in this particular issue was the Knight Cox pylon racing the night limbo racing, and the classic night flying stuff. And we just had a ball. I wrote a lot of articles for RC Report too. Actually, this is me on the cover of one of the magazines as we're doing some slope soaring out in California. This one is August 1999. This was my product review on the B-2 Stealth Bomber electric. Here I am on the cover again at the same place I slope soar. This is a Son of Savage with a forward swept wing, which proved that it would work. Let's see here. This is December 1993, and this was my experimentation with forward swept wing airplanes. And this particular airplane was called an Inversion 40, and believe me, it really flew very well. So the magazines just keep coming out. Here is Fly RC. This is a very nice magazine also, dedicated mostly to electrics. And Quiet Flyer magazine, also dedicated for electrics, another good magazine. The magazine that I've lately been picking up mostly is the Backyard Flyer magazine. They consistently have amazing articles and pictures and cover photos, and the color is tremendous. The pictures are wonderful, and I really enjoy reading the articles. They're laid out well, makes it pretty easy reading out of it. And the latest issue I just got, let's just take a real quick peek through it. I like this issue because it has a buyer's guide for 08. And these are all the editor's picks. And for you people who are constantly asking me what's the best of this and what's that, I would suggest you pick this up because this has got some good stuff in it. Let's take a look through it right now. Okay, here's the buyer's guide, which is amazing. And this shows right here the best scale airplanes that you can get, the best aerobats, profile fuselage versions, sport flyers, the tiniest one. Of course, you've seen my review on the Cessna 210 Centurion from Park Zone, and you know that's pretty cool. It tells what's the best helicopters you can buy, the beginners and counter-rotating versions too. The best helicopters that you can get. The best motors you can get, outrunners. The best speed controllers you can get. The best radios you can get. The best receivers you can get. The best servos, the best chargers, the best battery balancers, the best flight simulators, the best glues and accessories, Here is the Park Zone Cessna 210 product review. So that's it. Hey, this is a really great magazine. I would suggest you pick one up and take a look at the buyer's guide in there.